I'm discovering that one of the hardest parts of changing your life is the middle bit. You're not where you used to be anymore, but you're not who you want to be either. And at the moment, that's exactly how my life feels. In today's video, I'm taking you through being back at home while trying to navigate this strange in-between stage of changing your life. I'm going to share how my habits are going, a moment where I nearly slipped back into old habits, some food prep and cooking, why I think I'm now in what I'm calling the messy middle, and later I want to talk about the gap from where you are now and who you want to become. So yesterday started with another drive back to Beverley. I'm only home for a couple of days before I go back to Leeds again. My friend's out of hospital now and her daughter's come over for a couple of days to make sure she's settled back at home. Right now, I feel a bit discombobulated. It seems I just get used to one life and then I'm back in the other, constantly shifting between two lives, not fully settled in either. And driving gives me a lot of time to think. It's an hour and a half drive between Beverley and Leeds. I'm realising that change in real life doesn't really look like how we imagine it to be. It's not dramatic music and magical transformation like we see in the movies or on TV. It's living out of bags, doing the washing, trying to keep habits going, and making practical decisions in the moment. So when I got home, it was straight into practical things. Putting the washing on, sorting my clothes from winter to summer, and trying to work out what I need to take back to Leeds with me. It's gone chilly again in the UK, although my friend keeps her heating on much higher than I have on at my house. So I need lighter clothes, t-shirts and things like that when I'm staying in her house. But I'm sort of between winter and summer clothes, so I've had a good sort out, but I'm still keeping some of my jumpers, as you can tell, but also bringing some of the lighter things out as well in case the weather, well, it should be warming up in the UK. Fingers crossed. Another thing I'm discovering about change is that it's rarely neat and organised, and I'm trying to work out how to live with that. Last night I nearly went off the rails again. I was happily sitting in my comfortable chair watching YouTube. I'd had quite a large meal earlier in the day, so I wasn't feeling particularly hungry. But suddenly I got a really strong craving for pizza. And then the little voices started. You deserve a treat. You're tired. One won't hurt. You can get back on track tomorrow. Do those voices sound familiar? Those thoughts always used to get to me, and I give in every time. This time, I got as far as opening the app, looking at all the pizzas I could have, and the ice cream, of course. And then I found myself trying to rationalise slightly healthier bad choices. Things like bolognese on chips, or chicken and chips, or maybe even a burger without the chips. I mean, when I say it, when I'm in the moment, it seems rational. But when I say it out loud and think about it afterwards, it's crazy. But then I closed the app and instead I made myself some oatcakes and cheese, which I had with an apple. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's one of my favourite go-to meals because I generally have cheese in the fridge and oatcakes in the cupboard and apples in the fruit bowl. So it's always on hand and it is so quick and easy. And there's something about it, I suppose it's savoury, slightly salty, crunchy and sweet as well. So it seems to satisfy all cravings. And this morning when I woke up, I felt so proud of myself. Not because I was good, but because I'd broken an old pattern. It will probably come back again, but I'm hoping the more I can resist the pattern, each time the easier it will become. Fingers crossed. I've decided that I'm now in what I call the messy middle. When we start something, there's something that I call the honeymoon period, where the excitement of something new sort of carries us along with the momentum. Be it starting a new diet, be it joining a gym, starting a new exercise regime, even starting new hobbies. I buy all the equipment or spend money on the membership, and then after a few days or weeks, if I'm lucky, the excitement wears off and real life continues. And I'm now in the part where the initial excitement has worn off, when old habits and old patterns are trying to pull me back. Does this sound familiar? And unfortunately, I suspect that this stage might last for quite a while. Those little voices that say, oh, it's a bit cold out there, or it's raining. Maybe don't go for a walk today. You can start again tomorrow. One won't hurt. But interestingly, when I came home and saw my bike, I was really excited. I've missed my bike. I never thought I would say that about any exercise. I've certainly, to my memory, never said that about any exercise in my life. And I couldn't wait to get on it. And this morning, water, teeth, and straight on the bike. A few people have mentioned that they'd like to start cycling and they've asked me about the bike. So I'll put the link in the description box below if you want to have a look. I got it off Amazon. And it's one that can take quite a high weight because a lot of them, they all have weight limits. The other thing with it is that I don't use is it has a backrest, so you can do, is it called encumbrant cycling, where you sort of sit back and your legs are further forward, and there's also some pulley things or something so you can do arm exercises with it as well. I'm not using those at the moment, but it is something that I intend incorporating as my stamina and my strength builds in the future, and also to add a bit of variety. This morning I made porridge. I mashed half a banana and made my porridge as normal with oat milk, and I actually forgot to put the flax seeds in at the beginning when I normally would, but I did put a tablespoon of flax seeds in the end, and then I sliced up the other half of the banana and put it on top once the porridge was cooked. And weirdly, it tasted far too sweet. It was almost inedible. I felt like I was eating a bowl full of sugar, but I took it as a really encouraging sign, because to me that shows that my taste buds are changing. I'm moving away from wanting sweet things, or if I crave sweet things, I'm not wanting the things as sweet as they used to be. So I'll keep monitoring that one and let you know what else I notice. And when I think about it, the McDonald's the other day, the thought of having the McDonald's was actually better than the reality. And that was one of the things that helped me resist the pizza last night, because I thought I could be spending all of this money, and remembering that helped me turn away from the pizza, because I thought probably the thought of the pizza and what it was going to taste like would actually be better than the reality. So this morning I also made 2 Greek salads: cucumber, tomato, feta, a sprinkle of salt and oregano, and a drizzle of olive oil. One for lunch today and one for lunch tomorrow. And they were so quick to make. I think they took me less than 5 minutes, which just shows that healthy food doesn't have to take ages. Same with my oatcakes, cheese and an apple. It's ready in a couple of minutes. And I also made a spring risotto with chicken for extra protein. Spring risotto is one of my favourite risottos. I love asparagus. So now, future me has food as well. And that makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like I'm caring for myself. And another thing that I've noticed is changing. I'm sleeping better. For years now, I have had generally 4 hours sleep a night. If I'm very lucky, 6 hours, but never straight through. I generally sleep for 4 hours and then wake up and I'm awake the rest of the night. Or if I'm lucky, I'll be awake for a couple of hours and then go back to sleep for a couple of hours before I get up. But recently, I've been sleeping 6-8 hours a night, and when I've got up in the night to go to the toilet, I've come back and I've gone straight back to sleep. And that's even more surprising considering that I was staying at my friend's house, so I was sleeping in a strange bed, and generally I don't sleep well in a strange bed at all. So again, very pleased about that. I think it might actually be the biggest win so far, because I think if you sleep better, then it's easier to resist temptation, and I tend to have more energy the next day. So again, doing jobs and planning things and getting things done is easier. It's easier to resist temptation, and it's harder for those little voices to win. So all of this made me think about the messy middle. I think one of the reasons we give up on changing or give up on the things that we start to do is because of the gap. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Because when you're in the gap, things can feel messy, they can feel slow, it can feel like 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or even 1 step forward and 2 steps back. It can feel frustrating, it can feel uncertain, and sometimes it can feel like failure. And like I said before, I'm pretty sure I'm in that gap right now. I'm not fully the person I used to be anymore, but I'm not fully the person I'm becoming either. But the gap isn't proof that nothing is happening. It's proof that change is happening, because it's natural for our brains to want to protect us and keep us in our safe zone, in our comfort zone, by trying to almost force us back into our old habits. Our brains think that it's protecting us, but it isn't. Eventually it will realise that the new things aren't a threat, that they're actually beneficial. But in the meantime, real change, it doesn't look dramatic day to day. It looks like driving backwards and forwards, washing clothes, making risotto, interrupting old patterns, sometimes succeeding, sometimes not, but trying again and carrying on anyway. And I'd love to know, do you feel like you're in that in-between stage? Are you still in the honeymoon phase? Or have you moved on and now you're in the sort of comfortable, this is just who I am phase? And what helps you keep going when change is slow and hard and a bit sticky? And if you'd like to follow along while I figure all of this out, then please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Maybe the middle bit isn't the failure. Maybe it's the becoming. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.